everyone, and welcome to another tutorial in the Drawing Essentials series. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make an easy background using perspective. And for this, you're really going to want a ruler. Some how to draw books say that you might not want to use a ruler when drawing straight lines. They say it puts more life in it, but seriously, make it easy on yourself and use a ruler for this tutorial because we're going to be dealing a lot with straight lines. And we're going to be doing a cityscape that sort of recedes off into the distance around here. So we're going to have to place our lines for the perspective and the vanishing point. And the horizon line, which is what we're going to put in first, a little higher than halfway up the page. And our horizon line will be right here, I think. And now I'm going to put in where the buildings will be, and I'm just going to put in straight lines for as far as I want them to come out. And a line up here to show how high up I want them to go. And a line down here to show how low I want them to go on the page. So this is as high as the building will go, and this is as low as the building will go. And this looks like a confusing grid right now, but if you will trust me and continue doing this, it'll all look a lot less confusing soon. So now we're going to put in a tilted line, and this one is going to be very sharply angled. And this is the angle of the building. And just below this point, we're going to have the angle of how the building will go up off the page. It's starting to look sort of like a hallway. Now, for a little variety, we're going to have this angle come off slightly less steep than the other one. And we're actually going to have most of these buildings be lower than the buildings on the other side. So I'd say about at this point. And that is our guideline for the cities. The buildings. Sorry, the cities, what am I saying? Anyways, this line here, this line for the bottom of the building will help us draw the sidewalks because you can't have buildings just touching the street. So the sidewalks will come out about that far. That should be the edge of the sidewalks there. And from that point we will come out, and it'll still be at an angle because when things get closer to us they appear to be larger. So make sure to have that be at a slight angle, very, very gradual. And let's do the other side. Great, now we have our sidewalks, and let's put in some lines right now. We're going to be putting in all the details later, but for now I just really want us to know that that is the sidewalk, and I'm going to space the lines so that it looks more 3D. Now we can get to work on the buildings themselves. Let's see how many buildings we can get on this one street. We will have one on this side, and I think I can fit about 2 more. So let's put another one here, and then a very small one out here. And we'll match it up with this line. And we will not have it at the sharp angle that this is at, because as you can see, it fans down so that the angle is actually pointing in the opposite direction. Here's where the neutral angle is. So when we go up slightly, it starts to tilt up slightly. So the line for this building would actually be this angle. And let's do the other buildings. I want a large one right here, and then this one will be mostly hidden. So pretty much the key to backgrounds is to keep everything, well, most of the time these things will not be symmetrical, and that is how you make your background seem more natural, by having the stores on either side of the street be completely different from each other. And back here, because this is a horizon line and pretty much the vanishing point, I mean technically the vanishing point would be here, but I'm putting it way up here so that it looks like it's a much longer street. And back here we're going to put some building shapes. Nothing too complex. And even if you think that you should do something complex back here, it probably is not a good idea, because we want it to look like we're going into the distance and back there is more of the big city. So we will have less detail. And I'm having these dark lines sort of fade down here. And we'll put a little tower over here too. Alright, that's that. Let's put in the details now. And I think I'm actually going to have this side come in more than the other side. So let's do that. Again, this is totally up to you. If you don't want to follow this tutorial exactly, draw your buildings however you'd like, and maybe you could have this side be longer than this side instead of vice versa, which is the way that I'm doing it right now. And I'm going to begin drawing the buildings. And and because this whole segment is one building, we're going to have the side of the building be here. So now it goes back into an alleyway. We need to specify the bottom of the building as well. So we put that there, and now we have a giant cube here standing in the city, and that is what we want, because a building is pretty much just a decorated cube. And with drawing, you have to start with a simple shape so that you can get a good result. So I'm going to give this building a little embellishment thing at the top. Just a weird little decoration. And this is going to be what sets it apart from the other buildings. Now notice the spacing of these three lines, but as we go down, I'm going to place them closer and closer together, because that's how it would look in a real situation. Because when it gets farther away from us, it all gets compacted and the lines are nearly on top of each other. So pay attention to little details like that, and your drawings will have a really good effect to them. Now, the front of the building is going to have lots of windows and things, but the side that leads into this alleyway place here is going to be mostly bricks and one little window. Or maybe 3 windows. Let's put in 3 and space it out nicely. If you wanted, you could use these lines to have your window angles be just right, but I don't think that these require that much precision. I mean, they don't look bad if you just draw them straight up and down. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to put in the bricks. The trick for bricks is you never ever draw the whole brick wall. You never draw every single one of the bricks. You just draw a few bricks here and there. And because it is brick and maybe this is an old building, I'm going to add some weathered marks at the bottom down here. And shade in the windows and add some stone effect to them also. In the end, this whole side of the building will be cast in shadow, but I'm going to do that later. Let's look at the front of the building now. And because this is what people are going to be seeing most, I'm actually going to use these perspective lines I put in before. So that I can know where to place things. And let's be very clear on where this sidewalk will end. Okay. Now we can put in the door. And because we have this perspective line, the tilt of the door looks very natural and very realistic. I'm going to touch up this line a little because it was getting really scribbly. And we don't want that right now. Okay, now let's put in the windows. And starting above the door, we're going to have 3 windows. Actually, I might only be able to fit in 2, but we'll see. Yeah, two looks best. So we have the lines for the sides of the windows, and let's put in the tops and bottoms corresponding with these lines. And the lines are not all spaced properly, so we're gonna have to try to eyeball it to see how big these windows should be. Now I'm going to erase the guidelines, clean it up a little. I'm going to add just a little bit of detail to these windows. And I think a little bit of detail to the door. Let's see, we can put a little arch over it, so maybe this is an ancient apartment complex or something. As you can see, I'm not really drawing all the giant shiny buildings. I'm drawing a quieter street with smaller buildings, and the giant buildings are in the distance. So maybe this is sort of a historic area or something, I don't know. I'm just trying to go for as distinct a location as you can possibly get, while still having it be easy to draw. Okay, now for the second building, I'm going to have it be more modern, so let's see what we can do with it. Following these lines, we can have the door about here, and some windows around here. So let's put in that door. Hey, get off my paper. Go away, please. Alright, and we're back to it. So even though this building is very modern, square doors are just so boring sometimes, so I'm going to have this be a rounded door. And let's make it a bigger door. we'll have it be a two-door thing. Alright, we'll have a little nameplate thing here. And the doorknobs. And maybe these are glass doors. Or maybe I just accidentally drew a really old building again and these are old wood. I don't know. So let's add some variety by having this part of the building come out slightly. And we will add some windows there. So let's put a little more detail to these windows since they are closer to us. And then up here we'll do the same thing. We want it to be a pattern, so in these in-between spaces we'll probably have a different kind of window. So let's see, what kind of window could we have? We could have very large, just like picture windows here. And I want them to be all the same size, so that's why I used the ruler there. Alright, we have that street pretty much done, but just to add a little detail, hello again! Just to add a little detail, I'm going to put a light right here. It's pretty simple. We have a base right here, and it goes up a little higher than the door and then curves out. Curves out over the sidewalk, and then we have the light itself. And back here we have another arch and a line in the middle of it. And there we have a street lamp. We're actually going to put one on the other side too, but we'll do that after we have drawn the rest of the details. So let's focus on this giant building here, which will also have an alleyway, and this is going to be a store. So let's put in our lines to know where everything should go. We'll have, again, an interesting top for the building. Just a little stone ledge coming off the sides. And I think that angle is a little bit drastic, so let's make it softer. Okay, now we can put in the door. And it's going to go somewhere in the middle of these lines. And be to one side of the building, because on this side we're going to have a big window. So let's put in that window. And we can put a little sign in it to really show that it's a store. There. And let's put a window on this door and a doorknob. And now I have that, and let's work on the rest of the building. We're going to have the store's sign up here, and we don't want it to be just a boring little sign, so I'm going to tilt it forward a lot. Here's where it's hooked to the building, and we'll make it slightly 3D so that we know this is a pretty big sign. And yeah, they've got a great name. They're just called Store. That leaves no doubt about what they are going to be when you walk inside. They're a store. So, no weirdness like Walmart. What's a Walmart? No, this is a store. That's it. So, yeah, I'm taking the easy way out. I don't want to make up a name. So, yeah, let's put in the rest of the windows. And because this is just like a small store that somebody owns, we probably live above it. And we're going to put some little windows here. Because again, this is a pretty small town. The big city is way over there. And I should probably do a video on drawing big skyscrapers at some point, because it really is a lot of fun. I mean, it's a simple cube shape, and you add some other cube shapes if you want, and then you put in the windows and shade it, and it looks really good. Let's actually put some lines, not bricks, on this side of the building, on this side here. I'm going to fix this line, and then I'm going to use the roof line to figure out how the lines on that side of the building should be placed. And as you can see, you don't have to be super accurate. You just gotta get the basic idea. And there it is. And we're going to shade that in because that is going to be in shadow. It's an alleyway, and the shadow is cast by another building that isn't in the shot, but it is there. Alright, as you can see, I put in the funnel little buildings and erased the guidelines so that we can look at the last part of this tutorial. And I'm going to be adding a few little details. Right here, I'm going to be adding a sort of flower pot thing with a bush in it. So that instantly gives the store a little more personality. And I'm going to darken these windows. In fact, I'm going to put a little shade in all the windows and make this door very dark. And let's put a street sign over here. And as you can see, it is definitely foreshortened for this sign that's aiming toward us. Alright, that is it for this tutorial. I'm actually not going to ink all this in because this video is really just about the rules that go into perspective for buildings. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and if you haven't seen the other videos in the Drawing Essentials series, here's that playlist. I've got a lot of other tutorials that will be very useful for you to learn the really important parts of drawing people and backgrounds, and I think you'll really like it. And don't forget to check out my channel. I have a lot of other really cool videos like speed paints and animations and just random drawing videos. So check it out, and I'll see you there.